Hey everybody, it's Chris Seeds, and I'm Wootini here with another Gay Gamer video podcast for you. As promised last week, I did not go to the movies again, even though I do want to see that Final Destination movie, because this Saturday was Eurovision. And as I mentioned last episode, I was going to start with Eurovision, sorry, but it's awesome and you should be watching it because it's great. It was a really good show this year, a lot of great songs. My favorite was Sweden with Bara Bara Bastu, which is a delightful, catchy, fun song about enjoying the sauna. And it's great. I think my second favorite song is probably Finland with Ich Komen, which is an extremely sexual song that ends with the singer Erika Vikman riding on a giant microphone spewing sparks. It's awesome. You should check that out too. And then third is Malta with, unfortunately, it's called Serving, but the good version of the song is called Kant. Unfortunately, they were informed that they were not allowed to sing that on television because when you sing, Kant means like singing in Maltese, but when you're singing that you're serving Kant, it sounds like something else, and they were not allowed to sing that on television. So they had to censor their own song, and so she just sings that she's serving and there's a beat. So I'm sure the audience was yelling it, but they mute the audience, so they don't hear that part probably. But that's also a really good song. Unfortunately, even though, like, the general feeling was that Sweden was probably going to win, they were the odds-on favorite going in, but that maybe Finland could, like, be a surprise upset with the televote. Unfortunately, the voting was completely insane. The jury votes, like the 37 countries, they all have their jury votes. And at the end of the jury voting, I think Austria was in the lead because they were the favorite with the juries, basically, but maybe not with the televote. And usually what happens is the juries like, oh, we like this song. And then the audience is like, no, we like this song. And then the televote puts it up at the top and then they win. So, like, the televote happens and it's insane. Like, Malta got like 8 points, which is, because you can get, depending on how each country you vote, and within each country, the people vote, and then they tally them up, and then you can get anywhere from 0 points, if nobody voted for you, to like 400 and something, if everyone voted for you. Like, if all of the countries gave you their top points, you'd get 400 and something. But, like, nobody was doing that well. And then fucking Israel got like almost 300 points, which means that like a dozen or so countries gave them their 12 points with the televote, which is insane. And so at the end, I was sitting there, my husband and I are sitting on the couch on the edge of our seats praying, and thankfully Austria, which I don't like their song that much. It's like the last 30 seconds are an awesome techno banger, but the first 2 minutes and 30 seconds are just operatic, falsetto, ear-bleeding noise that I'm not crazy about. Like, he has a lovely voice, but it's not something I want to listen to on the regular. But we're sitting here going, please, we need you to get over 100 points. You need at least 100 points. Please. And thankfully they got like 150, so they beat Israel. So, whew, everyone relaxed. But it's insane. Like, there's all these conspiracy theories about how Israel is like buying the televotes. Like, they're paying people to vote for Israel. And why you want to spend money to win a song contest, I don't know. Maybe they're trying to like rehabilitate their image. But this is just one more example of why a lot of people think that Israel should not be competing in the Eurovision Song Contest right now. You would think that there would be a rule because Eurovision is supposed to be about peace and love and unity through music, it was invented back after the war to say, let's all come together in Europe and heal from the war and like sing songs, and we can all come together, and it's all about peace and love and music. And so you'd think they would have a rule somewhere that says that if you are a country actively waging war on another country, or, you know, genocide and all, like, you're not allowed to compete right now because it's just not cool, and it mars the whole peace and love part of Eurovision. So maybe they'll have a discussion, but probably Israel will be back in it next year, and they'll buy a bunch of votes again, and we'll have to pray that someone else can just pull out enough votes to beat them. So thankfully Eurovision was not destroyed and Austria won. You could check out the song. It's not terrible, but it's not great. It's not my favorite. Sweden is my favorite, which is why I wore my Eurovision 74 shirt, which is when ABBA won with Waterloo back in 74, and I wore this to kind of manifest a Swedish victory, and it did not work. I also wanted to talk about Andor, which aired its final episodes this past week, and it was amazing, and I just want to say Andor is fantastic, and if you are a Star Wars fan who has kind of been disillusioned by the recent Star Wars projects that have been airing, Andor is great, and you should give it a shot if you haven't already, because it's terrific. The second season is slightly compromised, because apparently they had like a 5-year plan. It was going to be 5 seasons, but then they were like, no, that's too much. It'll take too long. It's too expensive and too ambitious. Let's, shrink it down. So after the first season, they're like, here's a second season. And they basically took 4 years and compressed it into 1 season. So you had 4 weeks of 3 episodes apiece. So each season was compressed into 3 episodes, which basically means everything feels kind of rushed. And I kind of wish that they'd at least done like maybe 2 seasons, just instead of just 1, like do 2 seasons of like maybe 8 episodes or something, just to give yourself a few more episodes to let some of the storylines and characters breathe. It also gets off to a rough start. Like the first couple episodes are like, I remember episode 2, I was like, why are we wasting time on this? This does not matter, and you only have 12 episodes to tell the entire 4 seasons. So why are we wasting time on this? But whatever. It righted itself, and it was so good. The ending is fantastic. And then afterwards, I decided I would go and rewatch Rogue One, because it leads into Rogue One, which then leads into Star Wars. And Rogue One is one of my favorite Star Wars movies. It's really, really good. I know it's divisive, but what's funny is that the thing is that as a follow-up to Andor, it doesn't quite work, because it's not Cassian Andor's story. Andor is about Cassian Andor, but then you get to Rogue One, and it's about Jyn Erso. And Cassian is kind of more of a supporting co-star kind of thing. It's all about Jyn Erso. But what's also interesting to me is that when you, my problem with Rogue One when I first saw it was the beginning is very confusing, because you're going from planet to planet, and there's all these characters, and I don't know who anyone is, and I don't know how they all fit together. And eventually the pieces start to come together, and then it makes sense, and then you understand what's going on, and the ending is fantastic. But the beginning was a little rough. But coming out of Andor, if you've never seen Rogue One before and you sit down to watch Rogue One, you'll know who, Galen Erso is, and you'll know who Saw Gerrera is, and you know who Cassian Andor is, obviously. So, it kind of helps fill in so that when you're watching Rogue One, it's not as confusing, and you know who these characters are and what's going on. So, I thought that was helpful. But, I've already seen it, so I already know who the characters are, so whatever. But yeah, Andor is great, and I'm very sad that we didn't get more of it. As for games, I have played some Infinity Nikki, though not as much. I'm still not doing anything with the Sea of Stars. I've been staying on Serenity Island doing the bubble things. I had to craft a new outfit, a new ability outfit, so that I could, activate these water spouts so that I could float up to higher platforms and continue exploring. And I've been doing that quest line which has been fine. I want nothing to do with the Sea of Stars, so I'm just doing that. But it's nice because I said this before in previous episodes that after that period of time where it didn't work and I couldn't play it, it kind of broke the spell. Taking that time off broke the spell, and now I am not as insistent on, I have to collect this, I have to collect that, I have to collect this. There's a limited time outfit that is available as you're doing the Serenity Island bubble quests and stuff. So as you're doing quests and doing mini games and whatever, you can get pieces of this outfit, and it's a nice outfit. If I get it, great. But I feel like if I don't get that, I'm not gonna go out of my way to do specific tasks to get the points so that I can get it. I'm just sort of I missed out, whatever, who cares? Which is nice. It's a much nicer way to do it. As opposed, also, I know people say the Sea of Stars is super buggy, but I still experienced bugs on Serenity Island. I will be moving around. If I stop running around and I pause for a second and I go into the menus to craft something or change my outfit or whatever, when I come back, a couple of times I've come out of a menu and been unable to move. I can still go back into menus and whatever, but I can't move. I'm rooted to that spot. And I'm like, what the hell? So basically it's fine because you can just teleport to whatever the most nearby teleport spot is, and then it breaks the spell and you can walk around again. So it's not a game-breaking bug, but it's super annoying. So it makes me kind of not play too much because I don't want to get stuck a lot and break things and find more bugs. But it is nice that I feel like I've broken the collecting spell on that one, because I still feel that way about Disney. As I'm playing Disney Dreamlight Valley, I'm still trying to do the Star Path duties, but then there's also this limited time Cheshire Cat event within this time period of the Star Path where you have to go around and find his footprints in the different realms and dig up pink holes in the ground to get this rare furniture that's and I'm I want to collect it all, and I still feel that way about Disney. So that has not been broken. I still want to collect all the free stuff in Disney that I can. But because of not playing, I'm still playing a lot of Disney, but I'm not playing as much Nikki, which is good because it has allowed me to continue playing more Dragon Age, the Veilguard, which I'm really enjoying. There's been a couple of combat things where there was one fight where I was oh shit, I was this close to death in a boss fight, and we just barely beat him, and I was phew. I had no potions left. I was oh hell. So, but then now I'm doing it's actually a main story quest where it's been a kind of a breeze. But then there was also one fight that was in a small room that was really difficult because I had no room to maneuver. But I'm enjoying it, and I'm at the point where now I have the main quests, and then I have character quests, and I have faction quests, and I have world side quests and everything. So I can choose I don't have a lot of time, let me just do this quick side quest and whatever. And I've done a couple of the character quests where you just sort of go hang out with Lucian and have coffee and chat and go off and in the woods with Harding, and she can test out her powers of moving stones around. And so it's quite nice. I like the characters. It's a BioWare game, so they're fascinating characters. They're interesting. They're fun to talk to. They're great. It's all well written, well acted. The lip sync is terrible, but whatever. It is interesting to me that the art style I find very interesting. It's realistic, but it's not photorealistic. The environments are more photorealistic, and they look sometimes very gorgeous with the magical stuff and everything in the forest. It's amazing. But the characters have this almost cartoony feel to them. So they're sort of realistically proportioned, but then they're just kind of cartoony in a way, which I like. It's an interesting style. I enjoy it. But the worlds are gorgeous, and sometimes it's a dive. Darktown isn't gorgeous. But it's also interesting to me that it's not an open world. There's sections of the map that you can go to. So you can go to Dogtown, you can go to Treviso, you can go to the forest. But within that, it's very linear paths that go around. And like when I did a side quest, this door that I couldn't enter before opened up, because that's the door you go through, and you go down that path to do your side quest all along there. So it's very interesting, like, it opens up the world more, but it's still these very linear paths that you wind through and find your way around. So because of that, I'm doing a lot of fast traveling, because it's like, well, I need to be up here, and I'm down here, but I need to be up here because the quest is over there, so I'm going to just teleport my way up there. I'm not going to walk through all these windy paths just to get up there. Though I might change my mind later, because I might need to level up more, and I might need some random encounters with monsters and stuff to, like, you know, level up more. But yeah, so I'm very glad that it's free with PlayStation Plus, because I am enjoying Veilguard. So yay. So I think that's it for now. So I'll just see you next time, and come back next episode, and I'll talk about some more stuff. Bye!